ML Sports Take brought to you by our good friends at Western OTB, Welch & Company Jewelers, and Elevate Fitness of Syracuse. Dodgers are up 2-0 in the World Series. They set the tone with a run in the second and 3 in the third. Carlos Rodon couldn't get out of his own way. I mean, he was hanging the ball all over the place. And, another Cashman blunder, of course, giving him, $162 million. Just a horrific signing. He had a nice year this year compared to last, but if anybody could trust him in the postseason, I don't know what to tell you. But having said all that, Rodon gave up 4. It wasn't like he gave up 6, and the bullpen was nails the rest of the way. Cousins, Hill, who should have been used for one batter the night before against Freeman. I know Freeman still could have hit it because he's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, but I would have gone with Hill instead of Cortez in the post-Ohtani at bat with Freeman. But they went Cousins, Hill, Holmes, and Leiter, and they shut the door. It was 4 runs. The offense, again, was the problem. They couldn't get guys on, and they couldn't get them in, right? They left 6 guys on base. It was the same thing as always, right? 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position. They left the bases loaded in the 9th. This team only got production from Soto and Stanton yet again. Stop me if you've heard that before in the postseason. And oh, by the way, I know Gleyber Torres has had a nice playoff so far, but he had a wretched game last night. And there's 2 big things here, right, from game 2. Number 1, they got another outstanding, surprising pitching performance. Now, I say another because Flaherty, even though he gave up the big home run in game 1 to Stanton, he still gave him an extra oomph. He gave him an extra, an inning or an inning and a third than they've been accustomed to. Buehler and Yamamoto and Flaherty have not done this. So I guess not second outstanding. Second solid outing, right? I don't want to get carried up and carried away with the the analytic idiots who are running the world today with 0 starting pitching basically. But Yamamoto gave him 6 1/3, and we talked about this going in. If the Dodgers get a little extra with the pitching, the lineup's going to be there. The bullpen is going to be there, and that's what they've gotten. That's one of the big differences in this series. The other big thing from this game in particular is, again, looking at the lineups. These teams have about $30-40 million payrolls. If you look at the Ohtani money, not being deferred, they have a 271 payroll, the Dodgers. But if it wasn't deferred money, nobody's done that. But Ohtani defers, $70 million a year. It's like 68 off the books. If you add that to the actual reality of the situation and you compare the payrolls, look at all the holes in the Yankee lineup. I mean, Trevino, Verdugo, Volpe, Wells, Cabrera, Rizzo, Chisholm. Are you kidding me right now? And if Gleyber Torres is flabbing away and Aaron Judge is pathetic, there are a million holes in this lineup. It's amazing that Michael Wilbon compared with the 1927 Yankees this week on PTI. And then you have the Dodger lineup over there with Ohtani, Betts, and you've got the Hernandez's working the count. You've got Teoscar Hernandez, one of the most dangerous hitters in all of baseball. I know you do have 205, 189, this average, that average, but they're dangerous, and one guy can give you a splash, then they go out, and then it's next man up. And they're better hitters. It's a better, deeper overall lineup. And the Stanton, Judge, Soto thing going into the series was ridiculous, comparing those 3 to Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, because Judge is a non-factor. And I just never understood that. So it's amazing how teams can have close payrolls, and there's so many empty holes in one lineup and not in the other. And you look at Yamamoto, the Dodgers have gotten a lot more pitching in this series, the first 2 games of the World Series, than they've gotten really the last couple of months of the baseball season and postseason. ML Sports Take here, brought to you by Stanley Law Offices, Barks and Rec Doggy Daycare, Ken's Auto Detailing, and Mars Motors. Go shop the lot today at Mars Motors. Every make, every model, under 10 grand, Route 11 in Cicero.